ain't gonna want to see it until Nicolas Cage gets that part.
Fair enough. And, oh, somebody off stage is telling us something. They said, you're on. Oh, we're on! Hey, Lee, we're on.
Oh, hello everyone. We're just currently in the process of circulating some links to get some more shenanigans happening.
And speaking of shenanigans, our current one is going to be Jeopardy for the Super Nintendo for the SNES as part of our 11-in-1 January special. And this is also going to count as game 31 of my original run, in which I've won $1,303,197.
That is really well done, considering how everything is going.
And here are the categories. We have biology, toys and games, actors and roles, ooh, opera, uh-oh, world history, and transportation, Well, I like the actors and roles category. Let's go there. 100.
The answer is...
You bet your life he played Coco in a 1960 version of The Mikado. Who is Groucho Marx?
I never actually heard that.
Well, Groucho Marx hosted a show called You Bet Your Life in the 50s. And that's right. Actors and roles, 200.
The answer is...
He and Meryl Streep won Oscars playing the title roles in Kramer vs. Kramer. Who is Dustin Hoffman? Who would also win an Oscar for one of my favorites, Rain Man.
Ah, yes. One of my all-time favorite movies.
Me too. Actors and roles, 300.
I'd love to discuss more about it, but there's lots more clues.
The answer is...
Alright. This rock star played Pontius Pilate in The Last Temptation of Christ. Oh. Oh, who was that? Oh! I think I might have figured it out. I'm gonna say who is David Bowie. Yes, I picked the right one. Actors and roles,
The
400.
answer is...
Off screen, this Canadian is the son of a Mountie. On film, he was the deadpan doctor in Airplane.
Would it be Peter Graves?
I think it's Lloyd Bridges.
I thought Lloyd Bridges was American.
What name did you say again?
I said Peter Graves.
Peter Graves. Okay, I'll try Peter Graves. I'll change my mind and say who's Peter Graves. For some reason, I thought it was Lloyd Bridges, but I could be wrong. But I'll try Peter Graves. And it's not Peter Graves.
Maybe it was Lloyd Bridges all along.
It may be, but we'll find out. No, it wasn't Lloyd Bridges. It was Leslie Nielsen.
Wait, I thought Leslie Nielsen was American the whole time.
I thought so too. But, oh well. Toys and Games, 100.
The answer is...
Aha.
Parker Brothers has made balls, boomerangs, and ping pong pedals out of a soft material they call this. What is celluloid?
Isn't celluloid the ingredient used to make film?
Yep. Oh, celluloid is wrong.
Because I thought celluloid is used to make motion picture film.
It is. But the right answer in this case... Oh, it's Nerf! Right, the Nerf ball. That's right. Nerf. I forgot. Oh well. It's still very early in the game. Toys and Games, 200.
The answer is...
As scissors beats this, so this beats stone, what is paper? Paper, rock, scissors. There we go. Scissors beats paper, paper beats rock. Toys and Games, 300. Oh, Daily Double. We found it early. I can risk up to 500 on this clue, so I'll do that. Said to be a weapon in the Philippines, Duncan made them toys for the U.S. What is the yo-yo?
That's really cool. Motion picture film.
The answer is...
Thrown out as useless by GE in 1949, this stretchy stuff became a national fad. What is, silly putty? Yep. Toys and Games for 500.
The answer is...
Total number of dots on the highest standard domino. What is 12? Yep, 6 on one side, 6 on the other. Actors and roles, 500.
The answer is...
This Austrian went to Vienna to play Hamlet after he got out of Africa. Oh. He was also in White Fang, but it's Klaus. Klaus what? Klaus Maria Brandauer. Klaus Maria Brandauer. He was also in White Fang. Oh well, biology 100.
The answer is.
That's okay. This frequent victim of biology class dissections is of genus Rana. What is a frog? Biology 200.
The answer is.
LBJ's hound dog or Darwin's shit. What's a beagle? Biology 3.
Actually learning a lot today.
The answer is.
Absolutely. The basic unit of life. 3 billion die every minute in your body. What is a cell?
Film identification. I'm actually learning a lot about traditional celluloid film.
Cool. It puts the green in greenery. What is chlorophyll?
And did you know that films between Snow White and Alice in Wonderland? Allow me to ask you, what kind of film was made when these films were made?
What kind of film was made when those films were made?
Yes.
I guess it was just standard 35mm film. I don't know.
It was, but there's actually a very specific ingredient up until the early 1950s.
I forgot.
Because
the answer is.
Because simply the motion picture negatives that were used for the classic Disney films from Snow White all the way to Alice in Wonderland were printed on nitrate film.
Oh, nitrate film. That's right.
So
I forgot.
These films were originally printed on nitrate negatives. They could actually deteriorate faster, and they were more prone to damage than ever.
Oh, okay.
So the reason why I say that is because nitrate film happens to contain the exact same chemical as fireworks fuel, and that's why it's flammable.
Oh, okay.
So you gotta make sure that the negatives are safely stored in a cool, dry place and away from anything that can be deemed a fire hazard.
Right.
So let's just say you want to restore from the original negatives of Pinocchio. You gotta scan every single frame in the nitrate negative, and then you gotta clean up everything, and then everything looks like new. But the nitrate is stored inside the bulk for preservation.
Got it.
The answer is.
But as for the prints that were used for the Baby Disney VHSs that were released up until the mid-90s, the prints themselves were actually taken from duplicate positives.
Oh, okay.
So, which is why, say for example, you were watching, let's see if let's say for example you were watching Bambi on the 1989 VHS. The print was actually most likely used from a duplicated positive.
Oh, okay.
So, which is why some of the quality may have degraded because they couldn't locate the nitrate negatives in time.
Got it.
In fact, if we look at let's see, Disney VHS film transfers. Let's see.
The answer is.
Convert food, best-selling. I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to do more research on where the prints come from.
All right.
The answer is.
Ah, here we go. Actually found something. Alright. Ah, here we go. From an authentic article that I encountered, and I quote, previous video releases have used internegative or positives that was several generations away from the original negative, resulting in more dirt, grain, a softening of the image, and a change of color. So that's why the quality on the VHS versions may not have been as perfect as the ones you would have gotten on Blu-ray. for the original transfers from the original nitrate negatives, a lot of people have been complaining that the restorations seem butchered and the color schemes are not, and the color, something about colors, or at least the color coding, or at least the color palettes are actually messed up.
I see.
Let's see, is the restoration? Yeah, because with every restoration there are color changes.
The answer is.
Because Disney is somewhat accused of making the original prints look like they were like rushed or something done out of Photoshop.
Oh, okay.
In fact, it was actually accused of removing all the gray from the negative. And so, with the HD restoration of the film, let's say for example Cinderella, the line work in certain scenes were compromised.
What do you mean?
Here, I'll show you a picture. Copy image attachment. Okay. Ooh. So this is the picture in question.
Okay, I get what you're saying now.
Yeah.
The answer is.
So in fact, in the picture itself, the line work for the arms have disappeared altogether, and the sparkles have disappeared as well.
Oh.
And the detail on the gown, that's been 86 too.
And we're at the end of the Jeopardy round, and I'm in the lead with $4,900. Yep.
And it just so turns out, hold on a second.
Now we're about to start Double Jeopardy. And while Lee looks that up, I'm going to read off the 6 categories we have for Double Jeopardy.
See.
Here are the categories.
Categories are sports trivia, mammals, flowers and trees,
staircases,
kitty literature, double talk, and finally, San Francisco. So we have a category devoted to the city of San Francisco.
Cool.
But we're starting with sports trivia for
The answer is.
All right. Roddy Piper, Andre the Giant, and the Road Warrior are among the heavies in this sport. What's wrestling?
Something tells me that the restoration was a little botched.
Botched?
Yeah, because I noticed that
The
details
answer
are
is.
actually missing compared to what you saw in the original VHS version. Because there was one shot where part of the fairy's light blue blouse is missing in the Blu-ray.
Oh.
Let me see if I can find another. And when it comes to one of the scene now has a greenish feel in the entire scene.
Oh, okay.
Pumpkin lines on the carriage. The pumpkin lines are gone in the scene where the pumpkin has to turn back into a regular pumpkin. Let's see. I'm actually reading a tweet from 2018 in which it states that the company's whole process of restoration of high-profile releases is actually completely destructive of the original image. For example, the original cell animation and background art as shot on film between 80 and 30 years ago. And he would go on to add another tweet saying, instead of just cleaning dirt, fixing scratches, adjusting color timing, they rotoscope every frame of character animation and isolate it from the original scene. Then they recomposite the isolated animation over a new background, cleaned up, and stitched together from the original scene.
Interesting.
The end result is a picture free of any unnatural gray powder and gaped weave you'd expect from something shot on film, completely disguising the film's age and medium.
You sure do know your restoration facts and trivia.
Well, that's because I actually discovered very late in the game when it comes to restorations. That is why I never got the Sword and Stone on Blu-ray. Because the treatment actually was deemed worse than what happened with Cinderella. is gone.
The answer
And it
is.
looks like something out of a straight-to-video sequel.
Well, I've never owned The Sword in the Stone on Blu-ray myself, so...
Well, it's a good thing you didn't.
I guess so.
And I'm actually
The
looking at
answer
something
is.
else. Let me look at this one.
Alright.
Because I do believe there's a picture in here somewhere. Over restored, okay.
The answer is.
It doesn't look like I can find it in time. Let's see. Open image in new tab, okay. Ah, here we go. Well, they
The
just
answer is.
changed the color of it. Let's just say that they cropped it open. They just increased the color. They just like lightened the thing. Let's see. Yep, color has changed for the most part. Let's just, yeah, it does look pretty bad.
Gotcha.
Alright, if I can open the page up in another tab, or open image in a new tab, here we go.
The answer is.
So, actually, the demo tape for the Jungle Book actually came from an entirely different transfer. So that is why you got the Buena Vista logo on the demo tape and not on the actual VHS.
What are you talking about, Lee?
I'm actually looking at a comparison that there are two separate prints used to make the final product. The demo tape actually used one interpositive print, while the main VHS released to the public in 1991 featured an entirely different color pattern.
So... But yeah, the Buena Vista logo is on the 1991 VHS of The Sword in the Stone.
So it is possible that the reason why there was no Buena Vista logo on the regular VHS during that time was that it was from an entirely it was from an entirely separate print.
I think
The answer
so.
is.
And I think my suspicions are correct. And if I can add further, the regular DVD and the Blu-ray, it cuts out a lot of the picture.
The answer is.
Say, for example, in a scene where cause like this scene, most of the leaves are actually gone because everything got cropped.
Okay, that makes sense.
The answer is.
So, but I highly doubt it'll be like, well, it doesn't get any better than this.
The answer is.
I thought they could at least present it the way the original Nitrate negatives have originally presented themselves.
Right, right.
The answer is.
Yeah, I'm a little lost for words tonight.
I understand. But I'm actually learning quite a bit myself.
Oh man, I could sure use 100 signatories on that Nicolas
The
Cage
answer is.
petition. Why is it that nobody's interested in my ideas? I'd love to pitch something like it's something fun.
I understand.
The answer is.
Still no word from that other server. Let's see. No, that's not what I want. Isn't mass production. Factory man.
The answer is.
Man, I gotta start drinking more. I gotta start drinking more coffee. even though I don't like the thing.
How come you don't like coffee?
Well, I just don't really like the taste.
Oh, okay.
The answer is.
Like, I know that chocolate and coffee are made from the same ingredient, but I think the taste of coffee is a little too strong on me.
Well, I'll tell you this, MC Chap, you know what he calls coffee?
Mm-hmm.
Stank water.
It's like black water.
He calls it stank water.
Like, if you mean something by stank water, what do you mean by that? How's the taste?
Good question. I would ask Chap that, because he knows better than I do.
Yeah. So, I'd be more than happy to, seek his lead.
The answer is.
Oh, man. So much to do, so much to see. Do you really think that T-Word's going to pardon himself before this video airs?
The answer is.
I don't know.
I highly doubt he'll succeed. If he succeeds, we're screwed.
I highly doubt it.
Yeah, I don't want that to happen.
The answer
After
is.
being impeached
See,
twice in a row,
himself, he's going to be in the heap of trouble.
after being impeached twice, yeah, he's definitely in trouble.
Yeah, I don't think he'll ever be allowed to run for office again.
So
Maybe
you're
he'll get
right.
a permanent restraining order, and he'll be stripped of all of his acting union benefits.
But let's not forget, Lee, he's gonna get a big taste of karma, part of his not-so-nutritious breakfast.
Oh yeah, he's now going to get a criminal record. Do you really think that a criminal record will prevent him from running office ever again?
I don't know.
I think there's something. I actually read about it this morning, but it is a little bit sad for at least people in the know. But I actually don't understand this whole situation. Maybe I'd like to talk about it off camera.
All right.
Because, it's out of respect for people who are aware of what's going on. So, yeah, don't worry. We're saving that for off camera, but I'll talk about that. And I'll just keep it.
The answer is.
I'll just keep that picture from you. Don't let it stop.
Well, fortunately, we're almost finished with this game, so...
Oh, cool. So, what do you think of the forthcoming guest hosts?
Katie Couric, gonna be very interesting to say the least.
Well,
And Maya
we're
Believe...
getting a woman to try out.
Yeah.
But what about that Big Bang Theory actress?
The answer is.
she
Oh, Maya Believe?
smart as Alex would be?
Well, we can only hope.
Yeah, so I actually wish to question her intelligence on any of the answers that she could present.
And we've made it to Final Jeopardy.
Yeah, so I believe they're only searching for temporary places, but they don't think they're going to hire people just because they did a good job on the show. But maybe they're just finding someone in particular who has the right power to fill in Alex's shoes in the long run.
Right, exactly.
But I think that these celebrities, for them to do the guest host, are supposed to be like a thing at this time. So just say, for example, Katie Couric, because she's already famous. Why not just get someone who is as intelligent as already a household name as much as Alex?
Good idea.
Case in point, Ken Jennings.
Exactly.
So I don't think there's ever going to be a person who is better suited for the job than Ken himself.
And did I come up with the correct Final Jeopardy response? Yes, I did. So in this game, I won $17,200. And that's a 31 game winnings total of $1,320,397.
Ah, that's sort of like a new final, but at least you still get to play. Alex will continue to host the show in video game form.
Right.
Or at least in the oldest video games.
Yep, and in the meantime, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up for this segment. We got more fun and games coming right after this commercial break.
And until then, folks, keep your feet on the ground, and I'm removing some dust from my keyboard with a paintbrush.
And just like I mentioned...
I highly recommend you go for the thinnest brush if you want to remove all the dust carefully.
And as I mentioned in the Deal or No Deal DVD Showdown, keep your feet on the ground, and whatever you do, don't get Winnie the Pooh.